talking with our finishers, and I'm telling you, this is one class to watch. There's not a lot of trucks in the field, but guys like Johnny Holger and Trey Gibbs have really stepped up and been in a league of their own lately.
Yeah, those two have been really putting on a clinic all season long. Of course, Trey Gibbs, a commanding points lead among the pro lights. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But, yeah, mix of established drivers, some really exciting newcomers. You got a local runner in this one with Antonio Inglesi from just a few miles up the road. So no doubt an exciting group of drivers, including a driver making his debut in the field here in Pro Light for round 12. As you see the field coming out onto the racetrack, getting their first look here before their race in round 12. There's your Yokohama top qualifier here for round 12. Anybody that leaves today in the pro ranks with a 58-point lead or greater will be the champion. Gibbs has too many points to not win it at this point, so an unofficial clinch already 2 days early for Trey Gibbs. That's the season he's had so far.
Yeah, he's been really, really dominant. Other than a couple wins from the Yokohama Tire 44, Johnny Holger, he's pretty much got it done all season long. And
yeah, Parrish grabbed a win back at ERX Motor Park, but yeah, 11 rounds in, 8 wins for Trey Gibbs.
Well, it's the calm before the storm, Shane. They're about to take off. Pro Light, round 12. There it is. The green flag flies. We're underway.
Right away, Milhausen late offender there on Parrish. Got to think that was unintentional, just a little bit loose on that start. Everybody just looking for some space down there in turn one. Look at Holger bullying his way through the inside, through the middle.
Yeah, he knows he's got to rough up Trey Gibbs a little bit if he wants to stay out in the front of this group.
Yeah, that was really physical by a handful of drivers through turns 1 and 2. Whoa, in big trouble for Trey Gibbs. Damage on the left front of the number 5.
Lucky he sealed that points championship. That's how it goes in off-road racing. You never know.
That will hand the lead over to Carson Parrish in the number 8. Parrish out of Terrell, Texas. Already 1 win here in 2024 back at ERX Motor Park. Big push there from Parrish.
Yeah, all these Pro Light drivers really having a hard time going through Cemetery Turn.
Carson Brown in that 2nd spot. Travis Milhausen Jr. running in the 3rd spot. Parrish flying into the GoPro corner, pitching it sideways.
So cool to talk to Parrish. He just loves being out here. And oh man, the 44 Yokohama Tire Ford of Johnny Holger having some issues.
So early trouble for both Gibbs and Holger. That is going to be an opportunity for some of the up-and-coming drivers in the class to make some noise. Carson Parrish, though, already a proven winner here in Pro Light, trying to bring home another one in round 12. And how about Carson Brown, the number 28, running in that 2nd spot? Further back, a battle going on between the hometown kid Antonio Inglesi and Nick Piscula in that number 69 truck.
Yeah, cool to see Piscula boys back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, making their season debut.
Oh! Just
brothers,
as we're talking about them.
Yeah, the brothers, they are privateers. Nick drives the truck. Two twin brothers, they hand-built that truck by themselves. They scratched together the budget to go racing here in Pro Light. Mixing it up with the big dogs like Carson Parrish.
Oh, Carson Parrish, yeah, he's pushing like a snowplow through that section.
He's having a really hard time getting the truck to rotate in cemetery turn. Looks like the water they put down back there a little bit heavier than anywhere on the racetrack. You see there's a ton of grip on some parts of this track.
Parrish flying off the flyaway the first couple laps here at Bark River in round 12.
It is really impressive to watch these Pro Lights, just how much speed they carry into that GoPro corner. You know from experience, these trucks like to tip over. Just the fact that they can commit that hard, carry that much speed is incredible.
Yeah, you have to drive them up until the edge. You have to drive the heck out of these things. Otherwise, they just don't work. They're meant to get beat. You really have to drive them. The wheelbase is so narrow. There's only 12 inches of travel in the front, 14 inches in the rear. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't for how light these trucks are.
Yeah, just over 6 feet of track width. That is pretty narrow for how much these trucks weigh. And like you said, that limited suspension travel, as a result of that, they're set up to be very tight in the suspension.
There's Carson Brown having one stellar run here this afternoon in the number 28.
One of the rookies here in Pro Light, also races Pro Dirt late models. Occasionally races on the Z-Max Cars Tour as well. As trouble for Antonio Inglesi. Flat right rear, that thing is about to fall right off the wheel. He finished yesterday on 3 tires.
Tough break for him. There's Matt Wood. We haven't got to talk about him much this season. He hasn't really been doing very well, and it's just bad luck on his end. He's trying to turn things around here at the end of the season.
Well, he is racing for 3rd right now with Travis Milhausen Jr. Milhausen Jr. on Radar tires, Matt Wood on Kenda tires, and Wood has an opportunity. He's going to pull alongside Milhausen. They are door to door. Milhausen didn't want to give an inch. They made all kinds of contact. Finally, Wood able to get by cleanly.
Yeah, he went to go do a little slide job on him, and they made a little contact, rubbed some fenders. Now Wood is going to try to stretch out that gap and hunt down Brown.
Man, after the season Matt Wood has had, it would be huge for him and his program to get a win here in his home state in Michigan, or a podium finish in his home state, racing here at Bark River, Michigan. But we know Milhausen probably didn't like the way that he got past. He is going to fight to try to get back to Wood's bedside.
Yeah, you can tell he's trying to be aggressive. He's trying to put the loud pedal down and trying to run him down one more time. Remember, we have that mandatory competition caution. The halfway point should be coming out here pretty quickly.
That'll restack the field. Everybody else besides these two pretty well spread out, and a big push there from Matt Wood. That's going to let Milhausen Jr. gain a little bit of ground. They'll come back into that core RV chicane. You can see Milhausen a little bit cleaner line through there, so he's going to gain a little bit more here on Matt Wood.
Look at these lap times. Carson Parrish laid down a 1:21.702, almost 2.5 seconds faster than the rest of the field.
Yeah, Parrish absolutely locked in right now. Trying to run away and hide there is Carson Parrish in the Corrosion Specialties truck, running on those Toyo tires.
Wow, look at him rotate that truck, just flowing it very nicely, over-rotating a little bit too much there over those jumps, but he's gonna collect it again. We're gonna come to that mandatory competition caution chain.
Wow, halfway point been reached, but Parrish landing really hard off that tabletop jump. We've already seen some drivers having some issues with flat tires today. Parrish, you gotta be careful driving that aggressively, especially with a big lead like that.
Yeah, down by the county road corner, it's almost like a step on, step off jump, and there's a big hole on the back side of that tabletop. So I'm wondering why a lot of guys aren't trying to fade or straddle that section. It's really hard on these little Pro Light trucks.
So Parrish, Brown, Wood, all in podium spots here at the break. Milhausen Jr. wants to get that 3rd place spot back from Matt Wood. And Michael Funk also in the top 5 here at halfway, but right now, while it's relatively quiet on the racetrack, we'll go down trackside once again and check in with Haley.
A drive by what we're seeing from the number 36 champion Michigan runner of Matt Wood. This is a story we can all be happy with right now, because he had told us yesterday, he said, I wanted to make sure that for this race that we had the truck all put together and looking so nice, because we have 50 to 100 fans up here in the fan section alone just for our team. So like you guys had alluded to, it has been a struggle of a year. They have just been plagued with bad luck left and right. So right now, for him to be putting the effort forward that he is, and circumstance free, right? It looks like there's been pressure out there, but he has performed under it. So a feel-good story after what has been a troubling season for Matt Wood.
Thank you very much, Haley. Yeah, and you're exactly correct. I mean, a trouble season for him, and hopefully he keeps that confidence up, because you and I coming into this season, Shane, he was one to watch for us. We had a pick all year long that Kenna Tire number 36 was going to get it done a couple different times, and he's just in that slump, we call it.
Well, he also has run across one of the all-time great seasons from Trey Gibbs, who's already out of this race, but Gibbs having a historic season in Pro Light. That's made it a little bit tougher on everybody else. Sometimes felt like everybody else was just fighting for 2 podium spots, and that Gibbs was kind of a given, being among the top 3, but opportunities abound here in round 12.
Carson Parrish is going to lead him back to turn number 1. Carson Brown going to go on the inside. Parrish puts it up on 2 wheels, sets it back down again.
Yeah, Parrish is aggressive right from the drop of the green. He's trying to get back that lead that he had on Carson Brown.
Here comes Travis Milhausen. Oh, he lands right on the bedside of Wood. That might be a little payback.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We saw it come to blows a little bit between those two in the first half. Milhausen Jr. is not a pushover by any means.
Wow, look at the straightaway speed for Carson Parrish, just bonsaiing off that last double. He's really been trying to slow up his turn here to get that truck to rotate, and it seems to work a little bit better.
What do you think makes up that difference in that top end speed? Do you think it could be just an issue or a matter of picking the right gear for this racetrack?
Yeah, absolutely. You can pick any ring and pinion you want for the back of these trucks, but you got to find the right length gear. Wow, Parrish passed 200 feet down the hill.
Maybe a little too much speed over the flyaway jump. Able to gather it back up and continues to extend his lead.
And to finish my thought, if you're at Bark River, if you had a chance to test here before the weekend, that was huge for you. You could throw a different ring and pinion in the back of that truck to see if that's the gear you need to run. And you're pointing out that Woods running down Brown.
Yeah, just trying to keep the pace, trying to make it a battle for second is Carson Parrish. A big mistake in turn 1. That's going to tighten up this race for the lead. So Parrish was trying to run away and was successfully doing so. All of a sudden, Brown and Wood back in the mix here in Pro Light. That's what we talked about. This track is so difficult, especially for these Pro Light trucks with that limited suspension travel. This track just wants to eat these trucks for dinner.
Yeah, it really is. It's really torn apart, but that's what you have to negotiate here in AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. And you've seen Parrish go up on the bike, set it down, losing a lot of ground, but still maintaining that lead.
Yeah, look at how much he extended it already over Carson Brown. So Parrish, no doubt the fastest truck on the racetrack. Thinking we're gonna see him get a little bit more conservative though, as there's 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
Well, at least we hope so.
He's got that speed on tap. He knows he can pull away when he has to. You don't want to throw it away all by yourself like Parrish just about did in turn 1.
Like I told you before, you have to drive these trucks on the edge. The minute you think you can give a little bit to get a little, you can't. You put it up on the bicycle. The minute you stop those wheels from turning, those things really like to hook up.
This time Parrish, yeah, much more conservative and much cleaner through turn 1. He can afford to give back a little bit of time through that section. Brown still charging hard, but Parrish has just been too fast to tame here in round 12. Under 2 minutes left on the clock.
Man, and look at Carson Brown, though, just holding on to that second place position. Looking really, really smooth, as Matt Wood is going to have to try to drive a little bit stronger here with a couple laps to go.
Well, Wood able to creep up a little bit more on Brown. Brown had to correct the steering a little bit, landing off that second jump, and now a big push from Matt Wood. You can just tell this track is really, really challenging for all these drivers.
Yeah, you have to hit your marks as you see Carson Paris cresting the hill jump one more time. Not afraid to flat-foot it. Both those trucks launching off that flyaway. It's such a hard hit on the front of those pro lights.
Yeah, you talked about these trucks only having 12 inches of travel in the front. They're using up all 12 inches and then some when they land from 8 to 10 feet off the ground, flying 200 feet down the hill.
Yeah, they're definitely stretching out those bump stops.
Well, Wood has been able to keep the pace. Brown goes up on the bike. Here is an opportunity for Matt Wood to gain another spot. Can he seal the deal? He can, at least for the moment, on Carson Brown. Matt Wood now into second here in Pro Light.
Yeah, Matt Wood, we'll see if he has enough time with 2 to go this time by to maybe close up that gap on our race leader. Wood's been waiting for this day for a long time.
Well, he's got a long way to go to catch up to Carson Parrish. You see the interval there, 3.1 seconds. Parrish virtually on cruise control as he goes into cemetery turn.
Every time he comes through there, he's going in a different line. So as the track develops and starts to come apart, you really have to pay attention like a motocross, supercross rider.
Well,
have
Parrish,
to keep searching.
Parrish had that one close call. I think he's just doing what he has to do to stay away from all the rough spots on the racetrack. He can afford to give up a ton of time at this point in the race.
Yeah, Parrish needs to just take a deep breath. Don't go outside of that line. Couple turns to go. He should be looking at the white flag this time by.
Back down into turn one, pitching the truck sideways, bouncing off the cushion. This time able to keep all 4 wheels firmly planted on the Bark River soil.
See him put that left front tire right down in that big hole on entry. As Parrish is gonna come to the white flag one more time around. There's Matt Wood. He finds himself in second, but a ways back from our leader.
Look who else is creeping into that picture for that battle for those 3 spots there. Tyler Remreed gaining some ground here late. So Remreed might play a role in that final podium spot if he can hunt down Carson Brown. There is Remreed. What a run he got into cemetery turn. They made some contact there.
Yeah, Remreed, he's looking to be on the podium again today in that number 43.
Yeah, he kind of came storming out of nowhere over these last 2 laps. Gave a little shot to Carson Brown on the final lap here in Pro Light.
See if Remreed, oh, Remreed goes up on the bicycle, puts it back down, saves it. But
Yeah,
costing him a lot. Man, he hit the berm pretty hard as well.
Yeah, there's a concrete barrier down there. I'm not sure if he hit that or if he did, how hard it was, but that will effectively end his chances at a podium finish, barring something going wrong for one of the other drivers in front of him. There is Carson Parrish, just a couple corners to go. Trying to dodge the ruts, dodge the holes here at Bark River International Raceway.
Looks to be gonna get the job done here this afternoon. Bonsaiing off another jump, but man, that number 8, tough to beat here in round 12.
How about it? Matt Wood from Champion, Michigan, able to finish on the podium here in the 2nd spot. Another good day for Carson Brown. We've seen him on the podium a handful of times so far this season, but Carson Parrish, the first driver not named Trey.
some fun now, man.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Welcome back to a beautiful day here in Bark River, Michigan. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. We're going to go down trackside with Haley Shanley with our top 3 finishers in pro stock. Take it away, Haley.
Thanks, Brent. Jeb Boodle. Jeb, you were relentless out there, battling with the number 97 and then there on forward. So how'd you keep yourself in the fight?
Well, just sticking with them when they're beating and banging and just trying to take every opportunity I could. I couldn't because they were just too wide, blocking up the whole track, and I was trying, but they were just, they're battling, and I couldn't get under them. But no, we had some, whenever we got together, I got some steering issues, and I threw a nasty whip over the flyaway jump, and I was able to save that and keep going, luckily. But no, these guys were in a good race. They were fast, but I'm glad to take home another podium. 5 in a row. Hope we can keep going for pro side-by-side. But I just want to thank all the people that helped me get up here, my crew, my dad, mom, Jack, Haley, Matt, and all the sponsors, Yamaha Racing for these incredible machines, Dirt Launch Power Sports for making these things fast, 2 more Dirt Launch Power Sport tuned Yamahas up here, Cryptic Side-by-Side, Fog 21 Fuel Additives, Hoosier Tire for all the grip on the track, Method Wheels, Power Sports 1, Freedom Raceless, Impact Racing Gear, and everyone else I forgot. Thank y'all.
He keeps the streak alive. That's Jeb Boodle. Owen Van Eperen. Owen, what a rebound this is for you today, right? But those battles you had, especially with the number 97 of Jack Letourneau, that had to have the heart racing.
Yeah, it was definitely intense. Jack didn't want to give me any room out there. We kept going at it, going back and forth. He'd give me a shot, I'd give him a shot back, and it was just never lasting. But his players broke, and my Yamaha survived. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We're back up here. It's been super rough the last couple of races. I haven't been myself, and myself finally came out today on my birthday. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. But yeah, it's been a good day so far. Hopefully continue it in pro side-by-side. But just want to thank all my sponsors, everyone at Yamaha Racing, Steve, Donnie, Glenn, Jim. Them guys have been behind me during this struggle and pushing me to be myself, and we're getting closer. So everyone at Power Sports 1, GYTR, Yamalube, Hoosier Tire, Vance and Hines, Balin Buildings, everyone at Beyond Redline, John Fitzgerald, Sparko, PCI, all my friends and family, thank you.
Vanilla Ice, happy birthday, Owen Van Eperen. CJ Greaves, points-wise, it didn't seem like it was essential that you win today, but after all that you and your team have been through in the past 12 to 24 hours, it seemed like it was essential to start your day out this way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a long 12 to 24 hours here. Went to bed at a little after 2 this morning and was up at 5:45 to drive back here. So we've just been working really hard to get these cars back to 110% because it's going to be a dogfight right to the end coming into Crandon. So this factory Polaris has been awesome. The XP1000 platform, new for 2023, now into 2024, has been awesome, and continue to develop it. It's been an awesome car. So hats off to everyone at Polaris, Monster Energy, Toyo Tires, Vision Wheels, Rugged Radios, Toyota, Impact Safety, Hayes Brakes, Victory Sign, Jody Hickman for building a heck of an engine, Cal doing the tune in this thing. It's been lights out. All my crew guys that bust their butt all night. It was a heck of a night. I left right away after the races, and I kind of left it to them guys to get these 2 cars sorted out so that I could come back in the morning and have all the parts we need to get them back together. So My crew busted their butt. Jay Kosmecki, Cody, they got their own stuff to work on, but they were there all night working on my stuff as well. So thank you guys, and hopefully we can just continue to have a good day today.
Way to persist through it. CJ Greaves, winner for Pro Stock side by side.
Well, we want to welcome you back up to the booth one more time. I'm Brent Smith alongside Shane Stetsny. And Shane, what a day it has been. The sun has been out. The wind is a little breezy, but you can see the fans out there. They're enjoying it here in Bark River. And you and I have been having a blast. A lot of races to call, but we have a lot more yet to come.
Hey, what's not to love about being here at the off-roads, as you guys up here in the Upper Peninsula call it? What better place to spend a weekend, a 3-day weekend, a long weekend of racing than right here at Bark River International Raceway. So much history. It's an iconic track on the Champ Off-Road Tour. And like you said, the racing so far has been phenomenal. Here in just a few moments, we get to let the big dogs eat. The AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Sides, Pro 2, Pro 4. What's your outlook on these final 3 races based on what we've seen through the first 4 here in the pro ranks?
Well, man, I'm looking to see a lot more action because they just have been going over the top here this weekend in the pro side-by-sides. Those guys, you can never tell who's going to win at any given time because that's how strong these fields are, Shane.
Well, right now we're going to go back down to our podium. Haley Shanley is standing by with our top 3 from Pro Light.
Thanks, guys. Right back at it. Carson Brown. Carson, it's great to see you up here. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but not for a lack of effort from what we've seen from you out there. So a job well done to get back here. What did it take today?
Yes, thank you. Ryan B Motorsports and the whole team worked their butt off. We've been fighting engine issues and just air filter issues and just a bunch of issues. So it's definitely been a long time coming, but it's awesome to get back here just on the podium. So just a big thank you to Pennzoil, Tremor Wheels, Chevy, Toyo Tires, Pay Cafe, and just everyone that helps get me here.
So much fun to watch today. That's Carson Brown. Matt Wood, the story, not just our local guy, but again, like you were telling me yesterday, listen to this crowd. This has been a hard year for you, right? And you had the truck looking brand spanking new this weekend, all for this moment. What are the emotions?
I'm just glad to finally make it up here. I mean, like we talked about, it's been a really downer year for us. And we've been working our butts off. It hasn't been a lack of trying. And we finally put a race all the way together and the truck stayed together. So I guess I just got to thank everybody that gets me here. My mom and dad, my whole family and crew, Auto Value West Ishpeming, Woody's Auto and Truck Service, Kenda Tires, Podium to Pavement. I mean, these AT2s were just hooked up and digging this whole race, and I couldn't put it on the bike if I tried, it seemed like. And Rod End Supply, Evans Coolant, Maru Safety, they got a new neck brace that's really been helping everybody out. And everybody I forgot, Balco Balancing, and everybody else I forgot. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you up here more often.
Michigan, it's your guy, Matt Wood, P2. Carson Parrish. Carson, a dominating win for you, but I want to know, as you're up on the bike there, high pressure situation, so what did you have to tell yourself, or what did your spotter have to tell you to regain that lead?
Yeah, that whole first half we were running good, and somehow my audio came disconnected, so during the caution I had to plug it in, and I can't remember if the bike was after or before, but yeah, during it he told me to calm down. He said we had a big gap and just don't lose it, get it to the checkered flag and bring it home. And I'm just glad everything went according to plan. You know, we had some good luck all weekend. We started up front on the pole, and we just managed to mess it up somehow. But today was great, you know, start to finish, and this is what I was capable of doing.
We know it. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I want to give a huge shout out to the whole team, the RBM team, Sam the Man, Crozier Specialties, One Automotive, Bill Steen, and everyone that's helped me so far. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's Carson Parrish, your winner for Pro Light.
Thank you very much, Haley, and congratulations to the top 3.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
This is all of the hard work and all of those late nights culminating to this moment, and that feeling is just, man, it is unreal.
Rocks, sand, heat. Life off-road is tough. We wouldn't have it any other way. If AMSOIL products are designed for this kind of punishment, think about what they can do for your daily driver. Upgrade to AMSOIL protection today and get fast free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
Welcome back to the Island Resort and Casino Off-Road Rumble in the UP. Action-packed 3 days of racing for these deserving fans here in Bark River. 51 races in the books so far.
That's it?
And then there were 3. AMSOIL Pro side-by-side coming at you next, Bark River. The fastest of the fast when it comes to side-by-sides here in short course off-road racing. High horsepower, 4-wheel drive. 72 inches wide. These cars absolutely get up and fly. As you look at your Yokohama top qualifier, it is Hot Rod, Rodney Van Eperen. Set the fastest lap in round 11, so he is the top qualifier here for round 12. Drew a 4 for the invert, so Van Eperen coming off the second row here in today's race. Let's look at the full lineup for AMSOIL Pro side-by-side. It'll be Jeb Boodle and Andrew Carlson on the front row. CJ Greaves on the top qualifier, Rodney Van Eperen in row number 2. The winner in round 11, Caden Baker, starts 5th. Kyle Cheney starts alongside Baker. Austin Dinger and Aliana Baker in the 4th row. Gray Ledbetter and Paul Wolf in the 5th row. Row number 6, Tyler Rimreed and Leland Tice. Row number 7 is Nathan Wolf and Luke Stubbs. Kyle Anala and Parker Frank in row number 8. Eric Schwartz and Owen Van Eperen in row number 9. So Owen Van Eperen, a lot of work for him to be done if he wants to contend for a podium spot. Quick check-in on the points here in AMSOIL Pro side-by-side. CJ Greaves, a 14-point lead over Andrew Carlson. Jeb Boodle, another 14 back of Carlson. Kanan Baker still in the fight, but time running out on this points battle with only 1 round left after today.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the final rounds here at Cran International Off-Road Raceway, but first, we got to shake things out here in round 12. The green flag is about to fly here in Pro Side-by-Side. Here we go.
Jeb Boodle will hold the point down into turn 1 for the first time. Carlson on the inside of Greaves. Gave him a little shot, pushes Greaves wide. That might cost CJ Greaves another spot. Baker trying to make some early work and make some moves forward.
See, the track has been prepped so perfectly all weekend long. Put down some moisture to keep this dust down here late in the day. There's Andrew Carlson in that Red Bull ride, number 15.
Yeah, Carlson's got to just make sure he stays in front of CJ Greaves to try to tighten up that points battle a little bit. He's right where he wants to be. Greaves right behind him for now.
There's Budo coming out of the cemetery turn, going over a couple roller jumps, and his eyes are set on this big flyaway jump. You can see how the track is groomed so perfectly, like I said.
Big air for these AMSOIL Pro side-by-sides up and over the big flyaway jump.
Here comes CJ Greaves now. He's trying to work on Andrew Carlson early. Remember, CJ didn't get a lot of sleep last night. He was back working on his cars. Took a little nap. Now he finds himself in the top 3 already.
But he has the Yokohama top qualifier, Rodney Van Epperen, hot on his heels. Van Epperen shoots to the outside. Man, Van Epperen found a ton of speed there, but actually pushed wide. That might cost him another spot.
And it does. Baker got around him.
Baker able to sneak on by. Remember, Baker, his first AMSOIL Pro side-by-side win came just 1 round to go right here at Bark River.
Yeah, Baker's on the move now.
Kyle Cheney there in that 6th spot. As they come across the finish line. See how Hot Rod Van Epperen wants to fight back on Baker. He thought he had an opportunity there. He had to check up, or that could have gotten hairy going in there in the cemetery turn.
Yeah, he didn't want to overshoot that jump too much. It would have costed him as Carlson goes a little wide. Now CJ Greaves still trying to hunt him down. Boodle gonna try to launch off this hill as far as he can to stay ahead of Andrew Carlson. And Carlson, he's had a great year in this class as well.
He has been a frequent flyer on the podium, a handful of wins to his name. But as mentioned, trailing CJ Greaves in the point standings. So Carlson badly wants to get in front of Jeb Boodle here. Try to take another little bite out of CJ's points lead. They will fly back into turn 1.
Boodle's been so quick in that 41. What's that, Shane?
They pushed the track back across, so it's heavy all the way across the track. It's going to take a couple laps, maybe 3 laps, to really get a good race line worn in.
Yeah, once they get that groove in the track, you'll see our speeds start to pick up and our lap times start to get better. As there's CJ Greaves staying about where he is. He knows he has that points lead, so he doesn't want to jeopardize anything, especially in this first half, Shane.
Good look at the interval across the top 3 there. 4th right now is Kanan Baker, but Baker just had the fastest lap of the race so far. So watch out for Kanan Baker, the round 11 winner. Here comes Van Epperen now, storming to the outside of Baker. They made some contact going off the lip of that jump. That's why Baker got all crossed up.
Yeah, Van Epperen, he caught Baker sleeping a little bit on exit, and he just made a little contact, but he was on the loud pedal.
So Baker shuffled back to 5th. Hot Rod Van Epperen once again in the top 4.
Jeb Boodle still maintaining that lead, not by very much, about 2.5 car lengths, as there is Tyler Remreed shearing off the right rear of that tire.
So Remreed's day is done. He is out of this one early.
Puff of smoke out of Boodle once again. Another puff as he grabbed another gear.
Maybe a developing situation for the number 41 Yamaha. No big trouble for Rodney Van Epperen.
He went for a swim down there, Shane.
Pulled off the track. Looks like he might try to rejoin the race. You see all the reeds and grass stuck to the rear axles on that car. Van Eperen unable to continue, so now it is Boodle, Carlson, Greaves, Baker, once again your top 4.
Jeb Boodle in that number 41 Yamaha trying to tiptoe his way through Cemetery Turn one more time. There's Andrew Carlson still maintaining that little gap. He's just waiting for that halfway point. I can guarantee you that. He doesn't want to get too close to eat that roost, as we're going to take another look at what went on with Van Eperen. Oh, man.
It was contact with Baker that led to that. So that had been a fight that was ongoing, and they made contact a few different times. Looks like Baker repaid the favor a little bit on Van Eperen and sent Rodney down through the creek in the infield.
Andrew Carlson, not going anywhere.
Carlson definitely not going to go down without a fight here in round 12. Another tiny puff of smoke out of Jeb Boodle's car. Another bigger puff of smoke that time as they went through turn 1.
The reason why I say Andrew's waiting for that halfway point is because it doesn't seem like he's throwing the car in like he normally does late in the race. So he's trying to keep that car straight as we're going to come to that mandatory competition caution this time by.
Carlson experimenting that time with an inside exit off the County Road corner using that little finger jump. So maybe the thought process starting to work for the number 15 Red Bull Polaris of Carlson. Boodle leads green flag to halfway flag here in round 12. CJ Greaves, the points leader, in third behind Carlson. Caden Baker emerges from that fight with Rodney Van Eperen to be fourth here at the break, and Kyle Cheney up into the top 5.
Yeah, good run for Kyle Cheney after the bad luck he had in Pro 4 this weekend, taking a tumble. Cool to see him back out behind the wheel in the car, just to show you how safe these vehicles are. As Richie Kuloff will pick up the field one more time, as we're going to go down trackside with Haley Shanley. She has some more info on Andrew Carlson.
One round ago when it went down, all we could do was speculate what was going on with the number 15. Well, I got some more insight on that in speaking with the team, and they described it as the dirt here at Bark River, it's a heavier composition. So when you are behind a driver and you're just eating that roost, well, the car is eating it. It's not just a visibility thing. So this ultimately came down to the power plant. So what they had done overnight was they swapped the motor out, so they got a fresh bullet in the 15 machine today, and they actually had belts flown in. Now, they weren't as worried about the timeline and getting them here in time, but it did come down to the last hour or two before the show started today. So they've had their work cut out for them on the pro side-by-side for Andrew Carlson. And did they get a little bit of a test in tune? Yes, they did. They were actually extended an invite by the Kleiman family to stop out to their property right here. You can basically see it from the back of the speedway. They have an extended gravel road in front of their property. They said, come on out, get it up to speed, and see how that car feels. And the team told me it's feeling great.
Well, it definitely looks great from our vantage point. Carlson putting down a very good pace. Just a real quick check-in with Owen Van Eperen. Brent, remember, he started 18th, dead last in the field for this one. I said he'd have some work to do. Van Eperen all the way up to 6th here at the halfway, so he has been putting in that work as we see Caden Baker pulling into the hot pit. He is going to have to serve a penalty for the contact with Rodney Van Eperen. And we are back underway here in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side.
Yeah, and you talked about Owen Van Eperen. He laid down the fastest lap of the race that last time by before the halfway point. So pay attention to the young gun in that number 5. He's going to try to keep working his way forward.
Doesn't look like any position changes in our lead pack on that restart. It's still Boodle, Carlson, Greaves, Cheney, Owen Van Eperen.
Boy, they're losing connection with Jeb Boodle right now. Boodle just shot out of a cannon on that restart, not wasting any time as they're heading into that sweeper, as Carlson looks to be hard on the loud pedal, a little bit deeper now.
Yeah, just like you predicted, Brent. Andrew Carlson seems to be a little bit more aggressive here after the restart. Just look at those names right behind Carlson, though. CJ Greaves, the 8-time Pro 4 champ. Kyle Cheney, winner, defending champion in the class. Owen Van Eperen, always a contender. This lead pack of 5 cars, just uber talented. Greaves now really starting to turn up the heat on Andrew Carlson, but Greaves has to be careful. Kyle Cheney hot on his heels in the Can-Am. Oh, and Owen Van Eperen went way wide. Coming down off the hill. Meanwhile, Greaves a little touch and go pass. CJ Greaves now into second. How is Carlson going to battle back? How will he respond to being passed by CJ? There was some contact there. So now CJ head down. He will go to work trying to catch up with Jeb Boodle. They'll head down into Cemetery Turn once again. Boodle already opened up over a 1.5 second lead on Greaves and everybody else. A big push there from Andrew Carlson. So Carlson falling off the back bumper now of CJ Greaves and Kyle Cheney in his rearview mirror.
There's CJ Greaves bonsaiing off that flyaway as everyone else is. I haven't seen these pro side-by-sides go so far off a jump until this weekend.
And I'm watching that 91 Can-Am Maverick R of Kyle Cheney. He is absolutely pressuring Andrew Carlson here in the second half. Cheney on the podium with a third place finish in round 11, trying to back it up with another podium finish here in round 12.
There's Kyle Cheney trying to work his magic. Just so tough of a layout here at Bark River. This track just keeps coming apart. I'm not ripping on the facility. It's just how this terrain develops. A lot of clay was put down before the weekend, so it just mingled with that other older clay in the dirt, and it takes a while to pack it in.
Yeah, very unique mix of soil here at Bark River compared to some of the other tracks. Look at Kyle Cheney. Man, he had the run, he had the speed there, but had to check up. You can run out of room on entry there in Cemetery Turn, and then a big push from Cheney. He can't get that car to rotate. That's gonna let Carlson slip away a little bit. They'll head into the Core RV chicane. Still Jeb Boodle out front. CJ Greaves by himself in second. Look at Cheney. Big air trying to pull alongside of Carlson.
Yeah, he uses that slingshot as his advantage going over that big flyaway. Here comes Cheney again. He muscles his way through by Carlson, and Carlson's off the pace.
Oh, what a disaster for Andrew Carlson trying to keep up with CJ Greaves in this points chase.
And Haley was talking about the belts on these cars that they ordered in, so hopefully nothing went on with what they fixed. He just kind of fell off right away after that contact.
Meanwhile, back up front, CJ Greaves trying to reel in Jeb Boodle, and also Rodney Van Eperen now up into the top 5.
Well,
there is Rodney Van Eperen creeping up on the back of Kyle Cheney. So Van Eperen, we saw him spin out after that contact from Kanan Baker. And Hot Rod, that lit a fire under him. He is moving back through this field very quickly.
Yeah, he was our top qualifier, so he's showing he has the speed once again. Boodle that last time by, there will be 2 laps to go. The time clock, he barely beat it to the line, and look at that blue groove starting to develop.
Man, Van Eperen just drove right across that blue groove. You can tell Rodney right now is a man on a mission trying to get this podium spot from Kyle Cheney.
Well, he better be careful because his son, Owen Van Eperen's all over the back bumper. He's the man on the move. You got to remember, he started dead last in this field.
13 spots gained in this race for Owen Van Eperen. So father and son trying to go to work here on Kyle Cheney, the defending champ in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side. The 3-way battle for this final podium spot as they fly down the hill towards turn 1.
Here comes Hot Rod Ronnie Van Eperen. He's gonna try to do the crossover on Kyle Cheney. They're side-by-side, big contact.
A big shot into the side of the Can-Am of Cheney. Cheney trying to pull back in front, he's not gonna do it. As the white flag is gonna come out here for Jeb Boodle. Greaves still in second. Owen Van Eperen now in third. He was able to sneak by both Rodney Van Eperen and Kyle Cheney.
Man, that kid is just one heck of a race car driver. Owen Van Eperen finds himself in the top 3.
But back up front, Boodle, you can see him fighting that car, just trying to get it to turn. Greaves still on the prowl, but 1.2 seconds back of Boodle. They'll come into the Core RV chicane here on the white flag lap.
Yeah, Jeb Boodle just has to keep doing what he's doing. as he sits out front, just hitting his marks this last lap as Kyle Cheney bonsais off the hill again. But time is definitely running out for CJ Greaves.
Well, Greaves continues to take little chunks out of that interval. Just a couple corners to go. He's gonna have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here on the final lap, but still an opportunity for CJ. One last time into turn one. You can tell Poodle just being really conservative right now.
Yeah, he really is. He slowed up the pace a little bit, but he wants to make sure he's going to be the first one at the checkered flag here in round 12. His eyes are set on it, Shane. He's going to get it done here.
Jeb Boodle, your round 12 AMSOIL Pro side-by-side winner. Another great day, though, for CJ Greaves. He will extend his points lead big time over Andrew Carlson and Owen Van Eperen. Star of the race, as far as I'm concerned, started 18th, finishing in 3rd, moves up 15 spots in an absolutely stacked AMSOIL Pro side-by-side field. Great performance for the number 5 Power Sports 1 Yamaha. But how about Jeb Boodle taking home this big win here in round
You drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online and
Yeah, the reason it's so important to have a reliable set of brakes is a lot of these corners we're coming into at 90 miles an hour. It's all about confidence. If you know you're going to stop, you're going to go into that corner a lot faster. If you don't know you're going to stop, you're probably going to slow down earlier. So that's the biggest reason. It's all about confidence in off-road racing. So Hayes Brakes, we've been working with them guys for 3-4 years now. Me and Owen really got to know them guys good. We really trust them, like working with them, and their product is second to none. So it's confidence inspiring.
This is all of the hard work and all of those late nights culminating to this moment, and that feeling is just, man, it is unreal.
This is AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, and this is how you celebrate after a huge win in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side. Jeb Boodle victorious over this crazy talented field in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side. We will hear from Jeb and the other top finishers in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side right now. Haley Shanley is standing by with our top 3.
Thanks, guys. Owen Van Eperen, I saw you charging out there. I saw positions changing up and maybe even a little bit of drama in your neighborhood of the race. So how'd you overcome it?
Yeah, it was super crazy. You know, yesterday I didn't even finish a lap. I broke right before the finish line on the first lap. So I had my work cut out starting dead last today, and I knew I had to make my moves as quick as possible. I was up to about 6, I think, at halfway, and then I knew the people in front of me were going to be slamming on each other. You know, we're all so close in speed at the front, top 6, 7 people, that you got to do some bumping to get around them, and that's what they all did. You know, Carlson, Cheney went at it, then my dad went at it with Cheney, and I was just picking them off as they were taking themselves out. So it worked out in my favor. Super pumped on the day. You know, 2 podiums. It's not a win, but it's a win for me and where I was the last couple of rounds because it was not good. So pumped on this, but just want to thank all my sponsors, everyone at Yamaha Racing, Steve, Donnie, Glenn, Jim, GYTR, Yamalu, Beyond Redline, did so much work on my car, Victory Sign, PCI, John Fitzgerald, Hoosier Tire, Balin Buildings, my whole crew. You know, we broke a lot of stuff the last 2 days, and they worked their butts off all night to get both me and my dad's cars ready to go for the day. So hats off to them and all you fans for coming out. Thank you.
Great work once again for our birthday boy, Owen Van Eperen. CJ, again, a way to come back from yesterday, and this one all the more important championship-wise. Congratulations on this one.
Yeah, thank you. That was the big thing today. We knew there's 1 round left coming into Saturday at Crandon, so setting up points was key today, and chasing Andrew, I knew that I just had to keep my cool and see what happens. Let it play out, don't do anything silly. I had the points lead coming in, and right after halfway there, his car, it seemed like it was starting to fade a little bit. And I'm like, all right, we're going to get around him and then hopefully just not have anything silly happen. And that's what we did. We got around him, and Jeb had a pretty good lead there. And for a couple laps, I was like, man, maybe I should go after this. Andrew's out. Like, we got a good shot to go after it. And I was like, no, don't do that. That's not a good plan. So I just kept my cool. Jeb ran a great race and just brought it home. That was key today with Andrew not finishing, was a really, really good points day. So here at the end, sometimes it's not about wins, it's about what we're celebrating at Crandon. So that's what the game plan was today, and we were able to capitalize on it and look forward to Crandon. So hats off to all my crew. We busted our butts getting this car back together, and it's been lights out fast this second half of the year. So thank you guys, thank you players for all the support and continuing to work on this thing with me. Cal, continuing to tweak on it as we go here. Monster Energy, Fox Shocks, Vision Wheel, Toyo Tires, Impact Safety, Freedom Race Lifts, Maru neck braces. Thank you guys, and anyone I forgot, thank you. And we got one more yet this weekend, and then see you guys at Crandon.
And we'll see you in Pro 4 in just a few moments. CJ Greaves. Jeb Boodle. Jeb, you were in a league of your own today. How much fun was it out in front of this field?
No, it was fun, but the one thing I want to thank is my crew, man. 6 podiums, 3 wins this weekend is fantastic. Hats off to them. We got a small crew, but we make it work. I want to thank my dad, my mom, my sister, Jack and Matt, and of course I want to thank all the sponsors, Yamaha Racing for these incredible machines, Cryptic Side-by-Side, Hoosier Tire for all the grip on the track, Lucas Oil Products, Dirt Launch Power Sports for making this thing super fast, Method Wheels, Impact Racing Gear, Freedom Race Lifts, and everyone else I forgot. Thank y'all.
A weekend to remember for Jeb Boodle, winner of AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side.
Thank you very much, Haley, and we want to welcome you back up to the booth again. I'm Brent Smith alongside Shane Stetsny, and we keep rolling things along here. We still have the biggest races of the day coming up, Shane. Pro 2-wheel drive and Pro 4-wheel drive. I know the fans are sticking around just for those 2 races, and I'm telling you, we have a lot of great competition in Pro 2 and Pro 4.
Well, when we were before that AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side race, we talked about it a little bit. We expected a little bit of carnage, a little bit of chaos. We saw some of it in AMSOIL Pro Side-by-Side, which we usually don't see in the side-by-side classes, Pro 2s, Pro 4s. I think it's going to be knockdown, drag-out battles, start to finish. But right now, let's check in once again with Haley Shanley. Let's do a little speed round, Haley.
Let's do this. Let's start out with you, Shane, because this is the one I've been really looking forward to. We just spoke with this guy, but in regards to Pro 4, well, actually, before we get to that one, Brent, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to start with you. Sorry, Brent, you've seen many races here, and for races that you weren't here for that preceded your time, you went and watched footage of it. So which was better? Was it the land rush start or the rolling start that we see here at Bark River? What's better in your opinion?
I got to say the land rush start. Back in the day as kids, you just watched him file into turn number 1. Nobody cared. And they just put it all to the nail. They wanted to get to turn 1 first. You do 2x2 starts, I believe, Haley. It's fun to watch. It's great to be around. But anytime you see land rush like at Crandon, you don't have to say much. It's very, very interesting and unique.
It most certainly is, and no matter how you slice it or dice it, it's always been fun to watch here. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We might come back and revisit this, but I have a burning question for you, Shane Stetsny, but we'll revisit that. We're going to go racing here, it looks like, Pro 2.
Can't wait to hear the question that Haley lobs at me a little bit later on, but bigger fish to fry